Welcome to this intuitive and empowering pick-a-pile reading, where we will explore the transformative truth that you are not flawed. Each of us carries unique perspectives, experiences and gifts, and today's reading is here to remind you of your worth and help you reconnect with your authentic self. So my name is Denise, and to all you returning souls, thank you for being here again. It's always a joy to connect with you. And if you're new, a big warm welcome. I'm so glad that you have joined us today. Today's reading focuses on understanding and transforming your sense of worthiness, which is why I've called it You Are Not Flawed. That is Flawed if my accent makes it sound a bit different. To enhance this experience, I encourage you to check out the companion guided meditation and soul coaching videos, which I've linked below. These resources are designed to help you integrate the energy of today's messages on a deeper level. For this reading, I'll be using one of my own card decks, the Secret Language of Light Oracle, and I've cleansed, cleared and meditated on the cards before filming. The cards were chosen face down before the session, so I don't know what they are. We'll unveil them together. To deepen the insight and offer a fresh perspective, I'll also pull some cards from a deck from another author, which will be Tony Carmine Salerno's Heart and Soul. This helps us to see things from a different angle and gives us new wisdom and a fresh perspective, as I said. So we have 3 piles of cards, each holding a message to guide you in uncovering any outdated beliefs or doubts that may be clouding your light. So these messages are here to support you in embracing your wholeness, shifting your perspective, and stepping into your most empowered self. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1 is inner glow, pile 2 is empowerment path, and pile 3 is soul alignment. So take a moment to center yourself and just gently close your eyes, take a deep breath, and gently ask yourself, which pile holds the message that I need to hear today? So here is reading 1, Inner Glow. So let's just take our rose quartz crystal. I love rose quartz. It's that beautiful feeling of unconditional love, which really just creates this beautiful space of allowing everything to be here without judgment. Okay, so then let's take the cards and we'll lay them out. And so the first card is Inner Voice. The second card is Create Space. The third card is Enlightenment. And our message or our action is Light Beings. Okay, so how wonderful. So inner voice. Your inner voice has come through to you. This is the energy from the past, which has just brought you from the recent past, which has brought you to the present moment now. So your inner voice was calling to you. It's like something happened in a dream, or something, you overheard something that resonated with you, or there was something that really activated your inner voice, or where you really heard your inner voice, you listened to your inner voice. And if you look at the card, it's like this opening up. The hands are opening up and allowing all this light to flow through. And it's just quite wonderful that the information has always been there, but you somehow resonated with it, and allowed your energy to move into a place where you could hear the wisdom of your inner voice. And it's activated, it's opened something inside of you. It's like, okay, so, this is helping you to really connect to your inner glow. So, which is the inner enlightenment within you, your soul's path. Where am I going? What am I doing? So something happened just in the recent past that has brought you to where you are now, which is create space. And whatever happened in the past activated your awakening, and it activated an awakening on some level. And always remember that we are constantly awakening into new perspectives of things as well. So there's lots of things that we could be waking up to. But of course, this is really connected to your inner self, your inner aligning with your inner self. What glows inside of you? What is your enlightenment inside of you? What's your passion? What is it that really gets you your juices flowing for creation? Just to reiterate that. Okay, so card number 2, which is the present moment, is create space. Okay, so how are you going to create space for your inner glow, for you to really reconnect with your soul's voice, your inner voice, hearing it, acting on it? How are you going to create that space? And that's where you are at this moment. So in the present moment, what am I going to do to create that space? Well, something you can do is just to give yourself 5 minutes in the morning to just gently, when you wake up, before you reach for your phone, which we don't really want to do, but most of us do it. Before you get up, before you do anything, just spend a few minutes being in that space. It's like an in-between space. And really connect to your passions, your desires, your dreams. What is it that you want to create in life? And you're creating space in your energy for that to start to manifest. So, and during the day, it's like create some space, take a breath every now and again, and just allow that space to flow into you through relaxation. Reconnect to your heart, reconnect to your center by just simply breathing, closing your eyes for a few seconds, and just being fully present in you. It's like bringing all your energy into this moment and just, creating space for your inner glow and all of your manifestations to come to you. So, wonderful, really wonderful. So you're moving into enlightenment. So the more that you create space to hear your inner voice, the more enlightened you will be. So enlightened just means that you are lighter. You've risen your vibration, which means you're closer to hearing the inner voice of your soul. You're closer to hearing your soul transmissions, and that's amazing. That's truly wonderful, because that's your authentic voice. It's that little voice inside of you that's saying, when are you going to write that book? When are you going to do the thing that you really want to do in your life? When are you going to, whatever it is that you really want to do in life? It might be, when are you going to lose weight? When are you going to start exercising? When are you going to start looking after yourself? And when are you going to start nurturing the creative things that you want to create this life? That's enlightenment. It's about lightening up and letting your vibration just gently start to flow up into the natural you. So card number 1 was inner voice. Card number 2 was create space, and the third one was enlightenment. So you have awoken to your inner voice. Something has woken you up to a new perspective within you. You're creating space now to really hear that, to listen to it, and creating space to also create your dreams and desires. And as you do all of that, you just that's not the best way to put it, but you begin to be enlightened. You're lightening up. You're raising your vibration into higher vibes, which will resonate with the wisdom of your soul and the transmissions of your soul, and it will be easier to hear it. So this is quite an amazing reading. And of course, the message or the actions is light beings. And so as you enlighten, as you connect to your higher self and your soul transmissions and your soul's voice, you will begin to feel and connect with your light beings, your guides, your angels, your loved ones, whatever you perceive your light beings to be. And of course, they are here to remind you of the truth of who you are. So we come back to card number 1, and so they're always transmitting the truth of who you are. So the enlightened you, your passions, your mission, all the beautiful, loving things about you. And you heard it. Something in you awakened. And so the more you awaken to different aspects of yourself, or you wake up from outdated beliefs, the more you'll hear your light beings. And so I think that's a beautiful reading. So just keep being you, coming to your center. And as you do that, you will feel lighter, your vibration will rise, you'll hear the insight and wisdom of your inner self, of your soul self, of your higher self, and you'll also connect to your light beings, guides, angels, loved ones, who are constantly shining those transmissions to you to remind you of who you are. So how wonderful. So now I'm going to choose from the Heart and Soul deck, which is from Tony Carmine Salerno, and I'm going to choose one card, I think, otherwise we'll be here all day, because that reading had a lot to say. Okay, so I'm just, because they're heart-shaped, they're a little bit hard to shuffle, so I'm just, there we go, and I'm just going to choose one, and we got this one, which of course is the cover. That's interesting. And it's beautiful angels. It's those angels' wings that are sort of flying up there. If you have a look at that, beautiful hearts and the star. So it's sort of got the whole reading in one card. So I'm just going to read the message, which is on the back, which is, through the power of love, all shall unfold in the most perfect way for all concerned. This card is a blessing from an angel who is here to reassure you that all is well. There is no need to worry. All is bathed in a sea of divine love. So that's a beautiful, wonderful message, and it helps us to see things from another point of view as well. So yes, you can look at this reading as a beautiful message from your angel. So I hope that helped, and I'm going to go on to reading 2. So I hope that helped, and let's go on to reading number 2. Okay, so now we have pile number 2, reading number 2, and that's a beautiful labradorite that I have on here. I love labradorite. I love all crystals. They're all companions on my journey. They all are to me, they're all sentient beings, and they have their own wisdom and beautiful insight to share with me. Labradorite is one of those beautiful crystals that it can look a little bit grey sometimes, but if you just shift the perception, you'll see the beautiful, or shift the way you look at it, you'll see the beautiful luminescence that flows through it. And so to me, it's a reminder that if things are looking a little bit grey in your life, just look at it from a different angle, look at it from a different perspective, shift the way you're looking at it, and you will start to see the gift and the beauty in it. So I love Labradorite. I just love this beautiful crystal, and it also helps us to connect to our star or galactic families as well, if you're into that. Okay, so here's our 4 cards. So the first one is let go. Oh, and this reading is the empowerment path. So this is how you find the empowerment, how you step into your empowerment a little bit more. Well, of course, we let go. That's a good one to start with. And then we've got alignment. Oh, wow, and this is fascinating because we've got 2 swords here. That's really interesting. So the past is let go, and the middle card is alignment, the now card, present card. The future card is wellness. Oh, look, and there's another sword. Oh, goodness gracious. Wow. And hearts, and another heart. Wow. Okay. We've also got Sri Yantra here, which is a beautiful sacred geometry full of triangles, upside down, triangles pointing upwards and triangles going down, which represent the masculine and feminine, everything coming together, as above, so below. And of course, in the wellness card, we have the flower of life. So reminding us that from that original cell, or that original circle, all those overlapping circles are all just the growth and the moving out and the eternalness of that original circle. So the source, basically. So we're all connected and we're all as one. So that's wonderful. And the message, oh, this is fascinating. I can't wait to see what the message and the action is. Inward revolution. Okay. Wow. So quite wonderful. And it has the DNA spiral here as well. Something will come to me about that in a moment. Okay, so in the past, let go. That's fairly self-explanatory. But because we've got all these swords here, wow. There's a cutting away of something. There's a, this is like the sword of truth, Archangel Michael's sword of truth, which has really got nothing to do with cutting as in, let's get rid of it, let's cut it away. It's more of using this beautiful sword as this way to just gently allow. It gives you space, which is interesting because we had create space before, but it gives you a space between the past and what it is that you want to do. So that's what cutting the ties is. When we cut the emotional ties, or the energetic ties, or the negative ties, however you want to call it, what it does is it creates a space where you can allow your vibration to just rise upward into the truth of who you are and create something new. And then we want to stay in that place. Of course, if you allow your vibration to drop down again, the sword is there to just give you that space again. But more than this, because the past is let go, and let go is one of those things that we think is an adjective, that we think we have to do something to let go, but it's more about coming to peace with something, coming into your center and feeling peace, because we cannot move forward, we cannot start to heal anything until we come into a centered place. In other words, we just say, a lot of people will just say, oh, I've had enough now. Or, okay, I give up. And that's you coming into your center, because you're not holding any resistance, and allowing, then healing can begin. But you can't heal from a place of, if you're hanging on to something, you can't heal it. It can't heal, because the vibration is very different. The vibration of wellness, of love, is quite different to the vibration of resistance and fear. They can't exist in the same place at the same time. So, so the sword of truth sort of cuts all that resistance away, so that everything can come into center. So love and fear all come together in this beautiful place of a neutral place, a peaceful place where there is no resistance. Then healing can begin. And of course, that is also what alignment is, which is what it's talking about you being now. And alignment means that your mind, your body, and your spirit, your heart as well, are all in agreement. You're not having an argument. So your head's not saying one thing and your heart's not saying another. Everything is in agreement. And that's what alignment means. And of course, it's like that might happen from moment to moment. It's not like we become aligned and enlightened and that's it, you've got it forever. Things are constantly shifting and moving, and we're having different experiences all the time. So we go out of alignment and then we come into alignment. But when we go out of alignment, we can ask different questions which will bring us back into alignment. That's the whole nature of living and creating. And once you realize that, it makes more sense to you. You begin to understand the laws, the law of attraction, and how you can manifest things in your life. So just, be aware of that. I'm not going to go on too much about that, but because I'll do another reading on manifestation. I'll do a whole topic on manifestation, but just know that to bring the things into your life that you really want to bring, we have to let go of resistance. We have to let go and surrender. And surrender means that we stop trying to control the outcome, or stop trying to control what it is that we think we have to do to make something happen. I had a spiritual teacher years ago say to me, stop trying to do the universe's job for it. Because it's like, oh, I want this. Okay, so how do I go about it? What do I have to do? How much money do I need? What actions do I have to take? And, in the end, it's about me holding the dream, holding the space, which is what our last reading was about, and believing that it is possible. And then keeping myself open, aligned and open to the opportunities that will come my way that I can take action on. They might be something that I hadn't even thought about. So know that that's alignment is when your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, or your heart, whatever it is that you want to call it, but everything is in agreement. You're not arguing with any part of yourself, because that will cause resistance. And so then we're moving into wellness. So this is just saying that you will feel a sense of wellness within yourself. Well-being and wellness are not a diagnosis. They are a sense of feeling that we feel, and you can actually feel wellness and well-being, whatever is going on in your body and in your mind, whatever is happening, you can choose to feel it. And I think that's why we have the sword in the heart, And something that came to me before is that for a lot of us, especially a lot of empaths and healers and people who really feel energy, we've taken this sword that was given to us to help us to just sort of move through life, and we've turned it around and plunged it in on ourselves. And so it's time to take that sword out, because you've been causing yourself pain. And as you do that and allow yourself to use the tools that have been given to you by your higher self and the tools that you set in place for yourself, it's you will begin to feel a sense of well-being and wellness, because you have this tool that can cut through and create a space for you to allow your vibration to rise into the truth of you. And so just keep that up. I find it's really fascinating. If please put down in the comments what you think about all the swords, and if you get different messages as well. It's just fascinating. So there's certainly something about cutting through shit, basically. Cutting through all the bullshit and just really deciding what it is that you want in your life. How do you want to feel? How do you want your life to feel? And of course the message and the action is inward revolution. And so this is a reminder that when things get too hard, go inward. An inward revolution is like a spiraling inward. Come back to yourself, always. Always come back to yourself. I know that it's really easy when you're feeling out of sorts to look for the answers outside of yourself, or ask for someone for the answers outside of you. But this is saying connect to the truth of you, to your own DNA. So to your own, everything that you've given yourself, to all your cells, your wisdom, your blood, your bones, your organs. They all hold wisdom of their own to share with you. And so always come back to yourself and come back to that centered place, and you will begin to hear you and feel much more empowered. Because of course someone might have the best words in the world to give you, but if they don't resonate with you, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is that you feel the wisdom. And that means that you experience it. And whether that be in a dream or whether that be in your life, however you experience it and however it feels real and whatever meaning it gives to you, that's the only thing that will have you moving forward in life and taking this as a new belief. Because words don't really teach, it's only life experience that teaches us and helps us to integrate new ways. So I think that's really wonderful as empowerment. And of course, I've just got it. The Blue Sword of Truth from Archangel Michael is all about empowerment. Archangel Michael's, for me, has always had a little bit of a, whenever I've got to move forward, it's like he gives me a bit of a push and a shove forward. And it's like, step into your power. Off you go. And speak your truth. And of course, your truth means your wisdom from your heart. It's not about speaking judgments or blaming other people. And so it's Archangel Michael feels very strong here. And I'm not really, angels don't often come to me that much, and I don't see them as everyone else sees them. But I also think that Archangel Michael is here to remind me that I've got to keep stepping forward, because this is a whole new format for me, doing readings as well online, and I love doing them, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. So let me know in the comments below. All right, so I'm choosing a card from Tony's deck, the Heart and Soul deck. And okay, and I got this beautiful card here. And it's interesting because, you know, we've got lots of swords here and lots of clear cut, you know, imagery. And then this one gives us a little bit of abstract. So the message is, it's time to, it's getting reflection, I'm sorry about that. It's time to reflect, oh, that's interesting, on what really matters. Ultimately, this is love, peace, and happiness, and you can only find these within yourself. When there is peace and love in your heart, there will be peace and love in your world. For all your experiences are simply your own reflection. And it's interesting that we get lots of reflection there. So I think that's a beautiful message. That sort of brings us the total of the sort of brings it all together and helps us to see it from another perspective. So I hope that helped, and let's go on to reading 3. So here we are with reading 3. So this is soul alignment. So this is what's really going to help you understand how to align with your soul. And of course, we've got beautiful amethyst here as a reminder to connect to our third eye. That feels really nice. Okay. So this is the past card, which is whispers. This is the present card, which is grounding. And then we have the moving into the future card, which is joy, and the message is soul family. Oh, that's interesting. We've had light beings today, and we've also had soul family. So your light beings, loved ones, angels, whatever you want to call them, your soul family, are certainly around you today, and it feels like you'll be starting to really connect with them, and know that they come through in strange ways. You know, I first connected to my guides and my higher self, which I call Astar, through colour. When I was meditating, they would come through as blobs of purple and green, and I just thought they were beautiful blobs of colour that I was seeing. It was like, you know, they were coming in waves to me. And eventually, after about 6 months, I got a message to say that the colours that you see are us, are your guides and angels, or light beings, loved ones, whatever you want to call them. The colour isn't actually us, but we're travelling on the waves of colour. It's like they're travelling behind it, or on it, or within it. And it came as colour first, as not to freak me out. And as much as we may think that we're ready to see lots of things in life, there's been a couple of experiences that I've had that I thought I was ready for, and my mind was sort of ready for it. I had an understanding of it, but my body went into fear, which means I had a little bit more work to do. My nervous system wasn't coping with what I was seeing, and when your nervous system isn't ready, so it's like I needed to update and upgrade my nervous system, and that's what we do with healing work and raising our vibration. But when your nervous system isn't quite upgraded yet, you may feel like you're a sense of you're dying, because the body goes into survival mode, and it's like, get me away from here, get me away from here, get me away from here, I can't cope with this. And so that's just something to be aware of, and that's why we you take things slowly, you upgrade slowly. You can't go from your base chakra right up to your crown chakra in a moment if you've just started on your spiritual path, because you need to work through all of the levels and expand yourself and get used to it, but also get used to the wisdom of that. Because even if you did connect up here, if you've just stepped onto your path, it won't make any sense. So, the whole journey is about moving through all of these things, getting to know yourself and healing. So this is about soul alignment. This is how we connect to soul alignment. Sometimes people get these quick awakenings, and you don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to know anything about spirituality to awaken, and that's happening more and more. And sometimes people will wake up and have this understanding of something, but unless you stay in that space, you do the work, and you keep creating from that, you will just naturally fall back down again. And it's a little bit like if you create a path in long grass, and you walk through it and the grass gets pushed down a bit, but then after a while it will just come back up again. The only way to keep it down is to keep walking over it over and over and over again. We practice that, and then you create a path. So that's the same thing that happens with us, with our nervous system, and expanding our consciousness and raising your vibration. So the reading is saying that the whispers within you have awoken something up. And, it's really interesting, because Spirit always, or my higher self, will say to me that, you may think it's whispers, but it's, we can't, they can't come along and tap you on the head and say, hello, you're awoken, you're awakened. And so it will come through as whispers. And like me, when I was meditating and seeing the colours, and then the colours then told me that they were my guides and angels, is that we often think that it's very subtle. And it is subtle. But once you tune in, oh my goodness, it's loud. And you can connect to it. But we often bypass it because we're expecting, boom, crash, something to arrive right in front of us. But energy is something we have to tune into. And you do that by meditating, by going inward, by coming into a beautiful space of alignment and understanding yourself. So just know that they won't always be whispers, that you might think that it's a bit too subtle and you wish it was a bit stronger, but as you tune into it more and more, it becomes louder. And so you've had whispers, something has helped you to awaken and to remind you to tune in. So grounding, this is where you are in the moment. Grounding is such an important thing to do in the third dimension. Sometimes people will say to me, but I just want to go to the fifth dimension, or, and above, and la la la. And it's like, well, that's fine, but you've got to be grounded in the earth and reach up to that space. Otherwise, it's got nowhere to come. And also, you'll be really ungrounded if you want to go, if you've got your head up in the clouds all the time and you've got nothing, and you're not standing, you're not grounded upon the earth. Plus the fact, of course, if you really want to fully go to the fifth dimension, you have to leave the third, which means you've got to physically die to go there. So, however, the more grounded you are, the more fun you have in your body, the more you begin to care about who you are, where we are on the earth. And always remember that we are nature. We don't have nature around us. We're part of the earth as well. We're all one. So if we don't look after the earth, what we're really saying is we're not looking after ourselves. So just be aware of that as well. So, if you throw rubbish around, it's like, well, where are you throwing rubbish at yourself? So if you think that the earth doesn't have a consciousness, if you think nature or animals don't have a consciousness and it doesn't matter what happens to them, what you're really saying is it doesn't matter what happens to me either. So these are just things to be aware of. We have this beautiful tree here as a reminder that trees are really grounded into the earth through their root system. And the more you dive down into the earth, the more you're grounded, the higher you can move upward. It's like your branches or your arms can go up really high, and you can be an antenna to tune into all the beautiful source wisdom and your higher self as well. And that's what grounding really means. It really just means to land where you are and stop trying to run away from you and where you are. Stop trying to run into the future or even into the past. But you've got to be present now and grounded in your life. Now, I know that that's difficult if you don't like where you are right now. However, where you are is where you are. So grounding is also about accepting where you are now. And that doesn't mean that you say to the universe, oh, I'm fine with where I am, just give me more of it, because that's what people tend to think it is. It's just allowing, again, no resistance. Because once you allow that resistance to fall away, which really just means you're arguing with the moment, once you allow that, you then begin to allow a new future, new dreams to come in quicker. So it's sometimes it can seem really counterintuitive. I'm aware of that, but what's happening now is happening now, and there's nothing you can do about it. And in the end, it really doesn't matter what is happening. Well, it's not that it doesn't matter what's happening in your life, because whatever is happening is happening. But it doesn't matter what is going on in your life. It's what you do about it. It's how you go about it. So, go easy on yourself and realize that you can't run away from the present moment, because it's happening now and now and now. So, and when the future comes, it will be now. And when you bring the past into the now by thinking about it, it's the now. So, don't want to play with your heads too much, but just know that everything is occurring in this moment. It's our ideas that either go into the future or the past. So, but your empowerment, your soul alignment is now. That's where it exists. So, from being grounded in the moment, you will move into joy. So that really just means that the more you're grounded in the moment, the more you allow whatever is happening to be there, you can access your joy. Because the more joy you feel in your life, the more manifestations you'll get of joy as you move into the future. Manifestation work is about being whatever it is you want to manifest. And it's about being. It's not about asking for it. It's not about having the right thoughts. It's about the energy that comes from you. It's about being. So I know that often people will say thoughts become things, but thoughts are energy. And so it's about the energy that you are. It's not about what you think, because you might think something but be something else. So what do I mean by that? It's like, oh, well, someone told me that if I said this affirmation, I'm going to think it and think it and think it. But underneath you're thinking, well, that's a whole lot of crap. I don't think that's going to happen. That's what's going out from you, and that's what's creating life, your life. So it's your being, the energy that is moving from you, not so much the words that come out of your mouth or the thoughts. Again, it's that alignment, being aligned and being aware enough about that. And something to remember is that, if you truly believe that your energy or your thoughts, your energy create your life, why would you let negative thoughts linger? There's nothing wrong with having negative thoughts, but don't let them control you. Let them inspire you to joy, because that's what this is saying here. Come back into your center, like that cross, because that's where your empowerment and your soul alignment is. And you will feel more, you'll get more manifestations of joy. You'll get more times to feel joy in your life as well. So just to reiterate that, you've had something in you has been whispering to you. You can feel that something has awoken up in you, and the more grounded you are, the higher you can allow your energy to go. But you've got to be grounded in the earth, otherwise you're just going to feel like you're all over the place and the rug's being pulled out from underneath you. And the more you can do that, the more you connect to your heart, to that love and to joy. And as you connect to that and you start being that, you will bring more manifestations of joy into your life. Now, this is also not about sticking your head in the sand and just, saying, everything's wonderful and lovely, because, that's people will call that bypassing, spiritual bypassing. But it's really just, it's that old saying of, you've got to be positive, have positive thinking. But of course, if you don't believe it, it becomes negative thinking. So you've got to really know it and believe it. You can't just trick the universe. You can't trick your own energy. This is about being the truth of you, connecting. Oh, and I obviously can't connect to that. I obviously can't digest that. Maybe I have to do some work as well. Well, I'm always doing work. That's what a master does. I'm constantly looking at how I can master my life and master the elements of myself. Doesn't mean I know any more than anyone else. So it is just a little reminder, and see, gone off now. See, I'm not grounded. And that's just a reminder of what happens is when you're not grounded, the energy has got nowhere to anchor itself. So it just sort of disperses and goes all over the place, and we start to feel all over the place as well. So the message or the actions is, of course, your soul family, that you're never alone, that your soul family is always with you, always shining the truth of who you are, your mission, whatever it is that you want to, you came here to do this life. It's constantly shining the truth of you, which is all that beautiful golden energy. And our job is to tune into it. And when you're grounded and you find the joy in your life, you can really connect to you'll tune into your soul family. And again, when I'm talking about joy, it might just be small moments. It might be running hot water. It might be, clear drinking water that you have. The electricity. It might just be standing out in the sun. It's finding joy in your life. Even amongst really crappy times or very challenging times. It's find the joy. Otherwise, you're just going to feel you spiral downward looking for the answers, but it's a bottomless pit, and you'll constantly keep spiraling downward. That idea of, I just got to get to the bottom of it. There is no bottom of it. You just keep spiraling. And so as you move forward, as you ground yourself, as you listen to the whispers of yourself, and you start to find moments in your life that are joyous and be grateful for that, you begin to raise your vibration, you begin to raise up, you can hear your soul family, and you begin to create more opportunities to feel joy in your life. And find the gratitude for small, beautiful things in your life. And the more you feel them, the bigger they will get. So I'm going to now choose a card from Tony's deck, and we'll get another perspective on the reading. Okay, so we've got another slightly abstract picture, but this looks like, the sun. It's like the sun card in tarot, that the sun will shine, and it's also reflecting on that water there as well. But really, it feels quite beautiful and warm and sunny. So this card signifies expansion and the accomplishment and success that come as a result of doing what you love, or something that has great meaning for you. You are creating something of lasting value that will be enjoyed by others for years to come. A strong sense of teamwork and fulfillment abound. So that's quite wonderful, isn't it? As you keep grounded within you, you'll feel more and more sense of doing something that is for not only you, but for the greater good as well. So, so I want to thank you. I hope that helped. And I want to say thank you so much for being here today and for going through this reading, these readings with me. And I really hoped that they helped you to understand that you're not flawed, and that even if different things turn up in your life, that you can connect to your inner glow, that you can step into your empowerment and really align with your soul. So thank you so much. And always remember to be kind, be curious, and dream big. Lots of love, everyone, and I'll see you next week.